Hi. Welcome to Pepe's Bar. So tonight is open bar. So if you are there and if you want to go in, just ping me, and then I will invite you to come in. So I cannot invite everybody, of course, but some of you, of course, can go in and we can talk a little bit about you, but we don't talk about the business, but about the life. So my first guest today is Rahul Verma. Hi, Rahul.
Hi, Pepe.
How are you?
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm doing well. How about you?
Yeah, you're looking very nice. I mean, for your age, it's amazing. Yeah, really, it's very nice. So I'm fine. Thanks so much. So I'm to that tonight. I'm drinking water because I have allergy and I cannot drink any alcohol this month. So I need to wait maybe 1 month more, and then I can drink again a wine or a beer, something like that. So, cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks so much for coming in. So you are a celebrity now. So how is that feeling?
It feels very nice,
Yeah.
especially the kind of celebrity you're talking about.
I mean, you wrote a book, the
Yeah,
last book on testing.
yeah,
I mean, this is a bestseller, right?
yeah.
I mean, the whole family bought it, or they got as a present from you, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a nice book. I mean, if you haven't read it, you should. You should. I haven't because why? I mean, Rahul told me. So, Rahul, tell me, um, does a book have a life?
Yes.
Okay. Why have your book has your book a short life?
It has a short half-life, maybe. So,
Okay.
so
So,
every year it will maybe get to half of its craziness, and at some point of time, it becomes digestible.
okay, that's good. So, tell me about your book. So,
Yeah.
why? Maybe why you decide to write the last book on testing? Because I know you when you ran the last keynote, your last keynote, really
Yeah.
a tremendous keynote where everybody said, "Oh my God, you are right." But
Yeah.
now
I
there,
looked
there
at the feedback of that, and one of the feedback was, "Never do this again."
so but tell me about the book.
So it's a satire book. It's a satirical fiction book on testing, the kind of book which is never experimented with in tech industry overall, especially in testing. So we are known for writing serious books. We are two serious people. So I thought I'll break that mold, because to talk about serious things, the text need not be serious. We can have fun, we can have humor, we can have satire, and uh, still be able to talk about deeper things. So I wrote this book.
Okay, but I mean and I don't know how do you say this in English, but I am an old man
Hmm.
already. I would say longer than my life. I've been around testing in some kind of things. No?
Yeah.
So and when I read the book, because I truly read the book, so it was difficult for me. I have to say that because the language is quite high. No, that
Yeah.
and even in my English is wonderful, but I don't know all the words, and it took time to understand the things and so on. But it's amazing. So, but for me, like I said, being in this business life for a long time, I could recognize
Hmm.
some actors. I
See,
don't want to say any names. I will not say any names.
even I haven't. So the only name which appears in the book, any person who has been roasted by taking his name, is me. So apart
But
from
you
that,
survived. that, but you deserve that.
So see, when we write something, it's born in the same soil in which we live. So I could have written the satire. Some of the themes are philosophical, spiritual. I could have picked any zone of work, not necessarily testing, and said the same things. But when we write something from our heart, we usually write based on the surroundings we live most of our life in. So I live in the testing world. So of course my characters were to be born in the same soil. So of course you would recognize some of them, but I have tried to not do any direct attacks, but you would of course recognize because that's the whole point.
Yeah.
So the book is successful that way.
I was a little bit sad that I was not there, but it's okay.
You
I could
already
write,
roasted me.
yeah, I could write the forward, so it's okay. So
Yeah,
I can tell the story how I wrote the forward. Should I?
yeah. Please.
Okay,
So
so
you
I took the
told
book.
me
I took the book. I gave it to ChatGPT and said, please write a very bad
that. Oh my.
remarks on this book. Okay.
Okay.
ChatGPT came back to me and said, seriously? And I said, yes. And
Okay.
then it came back and it was really very bad. And then
Hmm.
I took it and said, I cannot do that. So I put
Yeah.
it worse. And then I wrote my forward. More or less it was in that case. So more or less. So,
Yeah.
but for me, the interesting part is I think that if your background is coming from India,
Yeah.
and I think that you will understand the book better, could be in that way, that sense.
I hope that. So during the writing stage, when I was taking feedback, so because there is a lot of touch of Indian culture, the characters are Indian, especially in everywhere. Even on the spiritual characters, the divine characters, they also have Indian roots. So, so the feedback was the global audience would not receive it well.
Okay.
And what I'm observing is that in India, people have this mixed feeling about the book. But anybody from the West who has picked up the book, despite their struggle, of not fully understanding the Indian some parts, although there are footnotes, etc., explaining them, uh, they are able to appreciate it much better in terms of numbers. I don't see any confusion in any person who picked it up in the West. So it is an eye opener for me, and sort of I was happy about the decision that to reach to the global audience, I didn't compromise on my roots. Yeah, so it worked well from that perspective. Yeah,
So did you lost some friends?
not so far, but there is a roast coming up tomorrow. My two of my very close friends, JP and Ramit. So
I
they
saw
got
that. For that.
so it's a 2 hour roast and it's brutal. So you would like it because you also do the same.
No, I don't do that. So I mean, I guess that many people have also the same question that I have now
Yeah.
is what do you want to do with all the millions that you are going to earn with the book?
So far I have a lot of money. I'm just waiting for 30 euros more so that we both can go for a dinner.
For 30 years? Oh my God. I'm ill. Sorry, I have no time.
The rest is earned. Rest is earned. Just 30 euros more and we can have a good dinner.
So this the story when you write books, when and the people think that you are going to earn some money, and I mean, we have written to us, and it's really you. I mean, okay, I'm not the god of writing, and I have not the topic that maybe everybody loves and like and so on, and not the name that other people have, but not even for a lunch. So not so bad, not. But I think
So
we get something like 300, 400 euros a year
yeah. So
for
this is a
each of
misconception.
us, us. So
Yeah.
that
So we don't write books to make money because very less people make money. Most of the people like me, We spend money from our pocket to get the book out there. That's the reality. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you do it because you love doing it. There is no other way to think about it. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. And is your family proud of you?
Yes. So that's still intact. I'm happy.
Okay, we need to check that. Oh my God. So if you are there and if you want to ask any question to Rahul or to me, please feel free to ask. And if you want to join us here, you are also welcome. So there's not a problem. So Rahul, it's going to be a second book there.
So I'm writing one, but it's not on testing. It's completely outside testing world.
Mhm. But are you writing by yourself or are you using a friend to?
But
Are you writing it by yourself or are
Mhm.
you using a friend to write it?
So
ChatGPT.
even for this, there is a friend. So see, I'm not a novelist. So as I was writing this book, its format changed from it was supposed to be a funny textbook, a
Yeah.
satirical textbook, and I was all prepared to write it because this title came into my mind in 2014. So I've been waiting since then to write this book, yeah, with
Okay.
this title. But as I started writing this, some of the ideas which came to my mind, we cannot, they are so harsh, so dark statements. We can't say those things out loud unless it is a fiction. So that's where I started converting it into a fiction novel, so that the characters, they come from different perspectives and they can express different perspectives, which uh, live in parallel in our community. And I'm not a novelist, so I use ChatGPT a lot. First of all, to learn about novel writing, to learn about forms of satire. So first I used ChatGPT as a teacher. Then I mixed it with my theater background. I did it like a screenplay. So the first format of this book was an actual screenplay, as if it is being played on as a theater show, as a stage play. So through that, I developed all the characters, and ChatGPT. It's more than a ghostwriter. It's more than a ghostwriter. So without ChatGPT, I wouldn't have written this book. Not in this form, definitely.
I remember when we back at that time we talk about the writing a theater or something like that for
Yeah.
about yeah. So that was it was also a nice idea, no?
So I think these ideas somewhere is born around our discussions also. So
Mm.
I remember that, and after that, I wrote some articles on LinkedIn. There's a short 3 act play I wrote on
Yeah,
AI.
yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah. Mm.
Right. So the learning came in multiple months, but the book writing itself, and that's a huge win. I wrote the book in 2 months, end to end, including revisions. So that kind of power which ChatGPT or GenAI gives us. So people ask, right, that they usually come up with poor examples to talk against GenAI. Count R's in strawberries. Where is an actual product? So this is an actual product of GenAI. You can
Yeah.
hold it. It is something concrete. So it's no more just casual usage of Gen AI we can do. It's challenging, of course. It's not an easy path. It frustrates you. You ask it to write something and it goes in a different direction. Jokes are poor. Its sense of humor is poor. But the good jokes also somewhere lie in the same probabilities.
Yeah.
So my experience was tremendous with
Yeah.
ChatGPT.
I mean, the thing is that I think that there is people that are looking more for the failures of Gen AI and AI instead of what you can win from that. And
Yeah,
of course, you can get peers from an Apple tree, yeah,
yeah,
but you can also get um, Apple. And
yeah,
the thing is, how do you use it? How do you work with that? Of course, things are not perfect.
yeah,
They are getting better, of course.
yeah.
And I mean, I use it in the daily basis.
Yes.
I don't want to miss it, and it's getting more and more for many things.
Yeah.
And and I think that when people try to discredit um, AI
Yeah.
for things that the AI cannot do, and then it's difficult. And I think that on the other hand, there
Yeah.
are people who are living on the crest of this wave on AI, with a hype and selling things about AI that are not possible in my eyes. And
Yeah.
of course, there's a lot of people um, saying, okay, what you are selling or what you are talking is bullshit, and you are creating really or yeah, you're creating a bad spirit on expectations about AI, that AI cannot get it, and
Yeah.
but they, they don't they don't care about that, so they go in this direction. And I think something in between is where you can get some
Yeah.
productivity of AI and do things. We see that on testing. We see that on requirements engineering. We see that on software development, and so on. So there is things that you can really speed up. But at the end of the day, you need your brain uh,
Yeah.
to decide if the things that are coming are right or not.
Yeah.
You know, this
So the problem is always the same, Pepe. The hype and fear maxims, so they have this appeal. So if you write a post or you do marketing where you are talking in hyped words, it sells better. It
yeah,
reaches out to people.
yeah,
And on the other side, fear, cynicism also sells. You
yeah,
go to other extreme and talk against AI or any other tech, there are recipients for that because there are people's own insecurities.
yeah.
There is fear of job loss, so people are against AI because we want it to fail so that the humans can survive. So there is this thing which I can understand and empathize with. So these two details are interesting, these two maxims.
Mm,
The middle point which you were talking about, that's the boring part. What do you say when you belong to that category? The only thing you can say is try it out, please. If it works for you, it's good. If it doesn't work for you, it's bad. And you end up saying the same line every time. For test automation, for any tool, you can always say the same boring line, right? That try it out, give it a shot, see for yourself whether you like it or not. It's such a boring statement that it's always lost in the noise of this hype and fear people. And LinkedIn is filled, the social media is filled with
mm,
these voices. That's the sad part. And some of the leaders from testing community, whom I respect, who are, in my opinion, the best minds in testing, they are also doing it. They are also doing it, and that's the sad part. This is the time where they could have contributed. We need them, and they are in their own territory selling their agenda, so which is not healthy for the community.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, true. So if you look at your path on AI, that there is an aha moment. So you say, "Oh my God,"
Yeah,
or there's several of them.
several of them. Like this is a 250-page book, for example. So there are some jokes. So I could have experimented with thousands of jokes. Some of them only made it here, and some of them are mine. But there were some sentences which were generated. There was a language play which was generated, which was beautiful. So I stopped at that. And see, cracking a joke is easy, but creating an emotional moment is tougher. So
Mm,
this book, through the satire, has certain emotional moments. So they were also very powerful. And this is just I'm talking about the creative content writing. So in general, in testing, those aha moments are all there. I have done a lot of demos, and the sad part remains the same. In the private setting, I see it on people's face. So testers are sitting. I give them a challenge. Then I take that challenge to ChatGPT, and it more or less does equivalent of average answers always. That's its default, right? So let's say there are 100 testers in the room. So by default, it does better than 50% of them. By default, no prompting needed. And then I give the same exercise again, and now I ask for further ideas. Then I use a bit of prompting, and ChatGPT does equivalent. So it keeps doing that after all of them are tired. And then I say to them that let's be a bit humble and look at the past 15, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and ask yourself, wasn't there even one to two ideas, just one to two out of hundreds of things which saw, which were better than you, which you wouldn't have thought about? So wouldn't you accept this tech just for the sake of that uniqueness which it provided to you in 15, 20 minutes? Is it that bad? The irony is that some of them are surprised. They start saying good things, but once they're outside the room, they go back to the same phase. AI is bad. And that's, after demonstrating also, if you want to close your eyes, then I don't know, we are in a field of critical thinking. This is not critical thinking. Being critical is not critical thinking. Critical thinking is about always about seeing both sides.
Mhm.
Criticism is not critical thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's what I observe, and not just in test design, in other areas like reviews or performance, testing ideas or security testing ideas. So in terms of idea generation, this technology is wonderful,
yeah.
wonderful. So
I don't.
problem is unattended usage. This agentic AI, which people are talking about, I'm a bit skeptical about that, because at the extreme end of agentic AI, there is no human in the loop.
Mm,
So I am still at a stage, given the demos which I've seen, my own experiments, I don't think humans should be pushed out of the loop. We are not at that maturity stage right now. So I am looking for a human AI connected way of working. So agentic is okay, but so first of all, they cannot be agentic. AI doesn't have any agency of its own. So human is the one who's bringing agency anyways, right? So so I don't believe in the extreme edge of it, which I think is hype. But there is promise in agentic AI if it is sort of semi-agentic. If we put that word before it, and then it becomes more meaningful to me. Yeah.
I mean, we we will see. We will have few people talking about agentic AI in the next days with me here. So they are going to have some presentation, and let's see, because they will present things, and then we can have a look on that. And I think that maybe, I don't know where. I mean, it's not about the I mean, I think this it will depends on all the information you have for the agent to be running, and how clear is the process and whatever. Then it may be also that you complex things can be done without a human in the loop. But at the end of the day, I think that you will need always someone at some point who
Yeah.
um, needs to decide, because at the end of the day we're using here stochastic and math, and an answer is coming out, and it could be right, it could be wrong,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the most of the time maybe it's right, but sometimes it may be wrong. And it always depends on if you are using that um, for something where no one is dying, and money is only lost, and when you're someone is dying afterwards. So this could be, I don't know, different. But let's see. I mean, the market. This is this is for me amazing to see how many new companies just are jumping out from the bottom, and with agentic AI tools for
Yeah.
testing. And we will see the Agile Testing Days are going to be full of these companies offering that. And I'm going to go to everywhere there, and I'm going to have a look on these solutions. And I'm sure there are smart guys, and they will have very good solutions, very nice solutions, and so on. So and I want to see that. But I've been very long in the business, and it reminds me at the beginning when the people start talking about test automation. Yeah, and yeah,
Yeah.
here we are.
So I think, and this is what I'm telling myself, that since last year I'm focused on Gen AI. So this year would also, I'll go a bit deeper. But in case we are looking to develop some mature solutions, it has to be clubbed with classical AI models, and then maybe we would be able to see better performance. So next year, I'm going to explore that aspect, um, because Gen AI is just a part of AI, right? So if we are saying that AI is the one solutionizing everything, it can't be just Gen AI alone. There's a whole lot of stuff available within AI, so we shouldn't dismiss AI just because of Gen AI. That's what I'm saying. Gen AI in combination with classical models could do even better. So that's what I would try to explore, because that's a knowledge gap I need to fill in, and fill in very quickly. So
Yeah.
that's what I would work on next year.
So let's see. Maybe there's a book on that too.
Yeah, let's see if
How,
there
how,
is
yeah.
humor on that path.
Mhm. How do you think is going to be the role of a tester in 2 3 years?
So the part which you were referring to as the human in the loop, and so that's where I see that in the testing context, a tester role, could be there, but it need not be test. So here's the thing. Let me put it another way. People confuse testing with testers. That what is the future of testing? So they don't draw a line that there's a future of testing. There's a future of testers. By designation who are doing testing. So I'm talking about the tester role, uh, of anybody who does testing, not necessarily today's tester by designation, right?
Okay.
So it could be a skilled developer, uh, who's moving into that role, because some of the context for that human in the loop could need tech knowledge to the extent which testers are not known to be knowledgeable about. So the tester role is that, for me, that human in the loop. And as you are also aware, and you also say at times, there are not many roles left for that human, for those humans in the loop. So that is the subtle reduction which would certainly happen, and that role would need much deeper knowledge than today. So that's why I believe in the human part. So this is my take on the human and in the loop part, that the humans we are talking about would need to be more skilled. So we say, right, AI is making your job easier, but it's also making the job of those humans in the loop difficult. It would
Yeah.
need a lot of skills, because once the low hanging fruits are all taken care of by AI, then of course humans are involved only for the more complex stuff. And everybody today in our testing community is not equipped for that. And it's not about others. If I look at me, I also have started taking a note of things which would be useless skill in the coming years. So, and the areas where I myself need to focus on, so that of course I remain in a job, or I remain earning as a consultant. So it should be a serious concern for everybody.
Yeah. No, we see ourselves, no, that there is some kind of um, yeah, of changing happening, and things are moving quick.
Very quick.
Um, if you see what happened in the last 2 years, and every day is happening, so this is so let's see. I mean, I'm for myself, I'm learning every day, and I each time when I see something, I open my eyes and say, oh my god, okay, wow, this too, okay, wow, this too, and so on. But I think on one side, there is a lot of movement there,
Yeah.
and people are creating a lot of solutions and things that you can do. And the other thing is the industry and the people. And I see here um, two different velocities or speeds. So one of them is, I would say, the people on AI are on speed. So
Yeah.
yeah, they are really on speed, and the other one are still smoking a joint. You know, so they are really relaxed. Okay, we are looking at that. Oh, okay, that's fine. Let's see if we can implement that. And I had yesterday uh, a talk with a customer, and he have a team of people doing software development, and let's say in that way, these persons are not the youngest in this in the world. We are moving in, and they are quite slow, and they are not open to use any new technology.
Yeah.
And uh, he says, okay, then there is a problem because we have other teams that are using it, and they are 3 4 times uh, quicker than they are, and um, they are delivering, I don't know, 3 features in a month, 4 features a month. The other one are delivering 3 4 features a week. And he says, at the end of the day, uh, uh, my boss or the boss of my boss is going to come and we'll have a look, and then this is going to be difficult so for them. And this is interesting because this is the thing that we also see with our developers. Our developers are using AI for development, and things that in let's say 2 years ago we needed maybe a week or 4 days or 3 days. They
Yeah.
are needing today 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and they are done. So, but they are all the times the human in the loop. So they are using AI or Gen AI in the right way. And I think this is the big change also for the profession. It means that you as a tester, I don't think that your role is gone. Your role is going to be different. So many of the things that you need to do can be taken by Gen AI or AI, and you are the human in the loop. But you are using agents to do the things. But I think you are still need to be still there, and the one who decide if this is the right thing that you want to do, or that this is the things that you
Yeah.
want to use.
Yeah. So there's one point though from the anti-AI camp, which I fully agree with, completely agree with, that so we have developed these skills, right, by experiencing problems, by working in the field on our own. So with AI, so we are saying human in the loop, and this human would have the skill to interpret what's right, what's wrong, even if it is design or requirements or testing. You pick any field. So the thing is that if it goes on like this, 8 to 10 years from now, who would be those humans in the loop? Because if a person is working just with AI, the kind of experience, there's an impact on the experience, and there's an impact on learning.
Yeah.
So so the so i i fully agree with this point from them, from who talk about AI, that this is a real problem. The
Yes.
learning itself, the human learning itself, right now we have people, but they don't owe this learning to this form of working to AI. We did this in the raw way. So this way of learning is going to be taken away from us. And so good engineers, it would be more and more difficult to produce. It's like security testing or performance testing. So when I started my career, I started with very very initial years with performance testing. Then Agile came. It said everybody should do everything, and I was vocal against it. I used to say, you were killing my profession. Tomorrow you would look for performance engineers and you won't find them, because you're saying everybody can do everything. And you look at the state today, it's very, very difficult to find performance testing specialists like Oracle database performance engineer. You try looking for such a person, that person doesn't exist today. So whenever a good thing happens, it has these serious drawbacks. Agile was good in a way, but it had a lot of bad outcomes, especially in terms of specialized skills. Those skills are gone. So this is a practical challenge that today we can talk human in the loop, because we see those humans. 10 years from now, I don't know. It would impact on education. It would have a big impact on the way of learning. So we should focus on that in terms of the way colleges work, or in the way we bring up fresh graduates, the way we teach them, the way we coach them. AI, we can't take it away from them, but it should be done in a way that they focus on building their own skills. They should never forget that.
Yeah, but there is a lot of people really warning on that. Monette here in Berlin, she's one of the one warning on that all the time, and I think she's right. And I think that there is, I hope, yeah, that is like a pendulo, that we are now in the high part, and this is going to go back. And let's see. I remember when I studied computer science, we had or I had 4 years artificial intelligence, and my professor Hartman, Professor Dr. Hartman, told us with AI is always, there's always a wave. No, there's a hype.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was also in the early days, and then it goes back, and then it's go again, and then it goes back, because maybe you cannot fulfill the expectations that the people are getting. And I think that in some parts, of course, we are going to be able to get a lot of results and things, and in other parts where maybe AI cannot be as good as people, so you cannot use that, because they cannot resonate in the way we do, and so on. So let's see. I mean, things are changing every day.
Yeah. So that's what I feel bad, because see, from both the camps, the people who are creating hype and who are talking against AI, they have very genuine points, very, very genuine points on both sides. But in this extreme position, some of those genuine points are lost in the noise. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what worries me all the time. And in test automation, we have seen this already happening. Test automation is not evil, but because of this hype, people kept focusing on problems which were not supposed to be solved with automation, but they were selling better. And on the other side, testers kept talking against test automation. It's useless. They are not contributing anything. So just because you are, creating hype or fear, the thing is not going to go away, but it takes such a worst shape that both camps would be irritated with it. And that's the shape in which test automation exists today. It's mostly useless. So we are going to do the same to AI, I think, not because AI is bad or good in itself. It's the perspective with which we would look at it. Because I see a lot of demos. So today also I saw one demo. So they're good minds, but they are solving poor problems with AI. So the problem most of the companies today are solving is generate automation scripts with AI. Happy path scenarios.
Yeah.
Every demo I see, it's the happy path. And so they ask for my review. Tell them that this is a simpler problem, good demo, easier demo. The challenge, the deeper challenge is always not creation of an automation script. It's its maintenance. That's what takes time. Maintenance of automation script is the more time consuming part of human effort than the creation. All of them keep showing, creation demos, happy path, and nobody focuses on test data, their variants. But this is what they, position to the executives. and executives usually don't give a damn to testing. So they are happy with this fancy scenarios. They do a calculation in their mind that, oh, we now need 5 instead of 10 testers. Let's buy this tool. They end up being with same 10 testers now with this tool baggage, and then
Not
AI.
only, not only with 10, 20, maybe with 100 tests, and then outsource in some places because
Yeah,
they are cheaper. And then, yeah. I
yeah.
mean, this is the story of the IT of the
I worked
project.
in a single team with 72 testers for one project, not for one project from a single client.
72 testers.
72 testers. Yeah.
Wow. That was always my dream, having 72 testers in a customer. Then I could buy a Porsche, Mercedes, Ferrari, a house in France.
Maybe now you would have
Buying,
70.
even buying a French wine. Not crazy. Yeah, I mean, that's life. It is like it is. No? Oh my God, Raul, my dear, thanks so much for being here. It was a pleasure.
Same.
It's a pity that we haven't had any guests here that want to come in and chat with us, because I we could roast you together, but it's okay. I will put back the book in the place where it is, no, down the table. So
Okay.
so if you haven't read the book, so you have a chance. It's not easy. It's not easy, and you need time. You need time to think, but there are special parts there where you may get emotional, maybe, and in some parts you're going to laugh, and if you are an old man like I am and a long time in the business, you will recognize people and say, "Oh, oh my God, yes, yes, that's fine. That's really funny." And so that's the book. Raul need to buy a Porsche, even a small one from Matchbox. So thanks so much, Rauli. Yeah,
Thank you, Pepe.
and
Thank you.
hope to see you soon. Okay,
Same here.
again. Okay, take
Ciao.
care.